Hey YouTube, this is The Art of Prepping. Just a really small micro video to ask you to maybe so I can figure this out because I don't understand it. And number two, just to kind of heads up to those who are doing this, just to kind of remind yourself this isn't the best way to go. And this issue is about those people. This is probably mostly in America, I would imagine. I'm not sure a lot of the laws in other countries. Most countries don't even allow you to have guns, from what I understand. Or if they do, it's highly restricted and you can only have certain kinds and blah, blah, blah. But here in the United States of America, there's a lot of places that you can actually carry a firearm, concealed or open carry. This particular conversation is going to be about concealed carry. In most places, not all in America, but in the United States of America, there are places, though, that you have to have a permit. Or a concealed weapons license. There's all kinds of different terminologies, and they got different acronyms for what that permit is or that license is, and blah, blah. Basically, you're just having to pay the government and ask permission so you can have an extra means of self-protection, which is totally bogus and totally violates the Constitution, especially the Second Amendment of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And so I think it's complete hogwash. But with that being said, though, the whole topic here really is not about that. It's about how many people actually go through the rigmarole. Some people just have to pay the government, and then they get their little license, and there's no training involved. Some people have to go through a lengthy course. It could be 8 to 12 hours course. I think some of them are even 2 days long. I'm not for sure about that, but basically there's a whole range of requirements depending on where you live. Some places you can't even do it. You can't even get the permit, so you're just screwed. Like if you're out in California or parts of New York, you're just really going to be screwed. And so the question here is, what's the deal with people literally going through the process, especially those people who have to sit and do like an 8 to 12 hour course, do a shooting test, and do all this stuff, right? Take a test and all this stuff, pay out hundreds of dollars, and they don't even carry their gun. I mean, like, really? Like, I know a little more than half the people I know. Almost everybody I know actually has a concealed weapons permit or license or whatever you want to call it. They actually have it. I mean, I was one of the first in my group, and then everybody else, after I talked about it, and everybody else was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But the fact is that more than half of them don't even carry their gun. I mean, not even in their car, not in their purse, not in their backpack. I mean, nothing, like nowhere. It's just not there. It's just sitting somewhere at home. How is that going to help you? This is the question. How is that going to help you? Why do people do that? Is it laziness? Is it they just haven't figured out a good holster system, a carry system, or they don't care? Is it a denial issue, you think? So that's the thing that I just don't understand. You know, if you're going to go through all the trouble and maintain a license, because every so many years it expires, right? And you have to go and reissue. You know, that's how it is in my area and other areas, all around the areas, all the states around. Are pretty much like that. It doesn't so much last forever. There might be some states that it does, and there's some states, of course, you don't even need. I think like Arizona, for example, doesn't even require it, which is so awesome because they're more constitutional based, and you know they're not full of tyranny like a lot of other states are, including my own. So what's the deal here? Why don't even people carry their gun? I mean, you know, how are you going to have the benefit of it if you don't even have it with you? So this is the hardest part for me. Maybe you have a lot more insight, but like I said, I think it's more of a convenience issue. People don't really want to take the seriousness to heart, and they don't want to acknowledge. It's more of a denial issue. They haven't figured out a system even how to carry it. I think people also, I think this is a big one actually. I didn't even think about this till now. People, I think, buy guns that are just too big and bulky. And of course, probably the number one of all is the weight. They buy these 2, 3, and 4 pound guns, and by the time you put a couple extra magazines on your belt or in your pocket, your pants can't even stay on. You have to get suspenders. Seriously, we're like, you know, overalls or coveralls or I don't know. You know, this is the problem though. I think that people just buy too large of a weapon. They don't train enough. They don't have a good holster systems. They don't carry gun belts. They don't actually have the right equipment. And so it's very, very uncomfortable, and it doesn't feel right, very awkward to carry your gun. So anyways, that's just my thoughts on this. So what do you think? I mean, I just get really tired of people going, oh man, there's a guy that robbed this store. It was right next door, and Yeah, I didn't even have my gun on me, and I never do. I'm like, well, why the freak did you ever get the license? So, what do you think about that? And I mean, in those kind of situations, I would rather see that my friend or family member carry a 22 of any caliber. I mean, any kind of caliber. Even a BB gun is better than nothing, than having just nothing in there on their person. And these are the same people who don't even carry a pocket knife. And you're just like, how can you not even do any of that? How can you just have no types of recourse? Like nothing, you know? It makes me, my hair go white, and I just don't understand. I have to sometimes step away from all that because it just makes me nervous. Because you don't want to ever think of anybody you love being in a situation that they can't defend themselves. It makes my blood boil, really. So yeah. So anyway, I just want to bring that up. If you have your gun, and you have the means to carry it legally, please do so. Please just exercise your rights, your freedoms. You paid for it. If you're in that state, you have to get that license. What, good God. And even if you don't have to, pay for it, even if your state is like Arizona, which is awesome, and that you can just carry it without any type of restriction, you should carry it as well, because people have died for those freedoms. People died for that, And so respect your ancestors, respect the history of America, carry. And it's just, the whole thing doesn't make sense to me. When you don't exercise your freedoms, that's why it's so easy to take them away, because people don't exercise almost any of them. So with that, everyone be well. I hope everyone is exercising their constitutional rights and carrying their gun if you have the legal means and the right to do so. Thanks for watching.